chair. It's Monday morning, so we'll get started nice and slow. We'll take our time warming our bodies up, getting our energy moving, but then we'll come to stand. If standing's an option for you, you're always welcome to stay seated in the chair, though if you prefer, just for you, it feels better to be in the chair. I'll give you options for postures while you're seated. But we will come to stand, we'll get some more energy moving, do a little bit more stretching, and then we'll make our way down to the floor pretty quick today. I'd like to do a little bit more on the floor or again from the chair today. Good. So let's start by closing our eyes. Your hands can rest comfortably in your lap. And take a really deep and full inhale breath through your nose. And let it go out your mouth. Let's do that again. Deep, full breath in. And exhale out. One more like that. Good. Eyes closed now, gently close the mouth as well. And move your breath exclusively through your nose. Now, of course, if you're feeling a little congested this morning, or it doesn't feel like you're able to get a full breath through your nose, you can breathe through your mouth if needed, but I will encourage you to breathe through your nose if possible. Establishing now our yogic breath, our deep, full belly breath. Inhaling to expand the belly and then exhaling to contract. So there's a fair bit of effort and motion going on in the belly for this breath, but we want to ensure that we're also staying quite soft and at ease through the throat, or else we're restricting the breath a fair bit. So we want a lot of space for the breath to move. So soften as best you can in your throat. Maybe notice how after a few concentrated yogic breaths, the body starts to find some space. You might be able to sit up a little bit taller. You might notice some scents or smells traveling in with the breath. And slowly start to tick-tock the head now from side to side. We're not trying to push or pull the head in any one direction too far. We're just letting the head tilt from side to side to introduce a little bit of motion in the upper part of the spine. And just feel that out. Some mornings the neck feels really ready to move, and other mornings there could be some stiffness or even some pain. So just going to where it feels appropriate and okay for you this morning. Let's take the head back into center and now start to turn the head towards one side and then to the center and then over to the other side. So as we take these first few motions of our practice, we can start to build awareness or consciousness in the motions of the body. So as you turn the head, notice if you're also starting to turn your shoulders as well. See if you can keep your shoulders still. Just let this be a motion in the neck. Good. The next time the head comes over towards your right, let your chin drop towards the right shoulder. Glide it across the chest and look up over the left. We'll do a few half circles here, just letting the head find its motion from side to side. Again, noticing what feels appropriate for your spine. So if you do have any known injuries or you have any osteoporosis in the spine, you might stay with side to side turning or with this half moon shape. If there's no injury or osteoporosis in the spine, the next time the chin's over to the right, take an inhale breath and guide the chin across the ceiling. As you exhale, bring it back down and across the chest. Good. Inhale, rolling it up and over. Exhale, down and across. One more time in this direction. Using that inhale breath to support the head as it rolls back. Then we'll pause for a moment and reverse it. Inhaling the chin up to the left and across the ceiling and then down to the right. 2 more like that. Moving in sync with your breathing. Yeah, next inhale, bring the head back up into center, looking forward. Give the jaw a little bit of a wiggle. See how the jaw is feeling this morning. Yeah. Give the nose a little bit of a wiggle. Can you wiggle your eyebrows? Some of you might even be able to wiggle your ears. Not so much a talent of mine, but give it a try. Just moving around in the face, maybe taking some of the features of your face to your right and some of the features of your face to your left, and then reversing that. I'm just getting everything moving around on the face. Yeah, we tend to hold expression on the face and we don't even know we're doing it. Let's see if you can move the face around, loosen up some of that expression. Let the face now soften. Good. Turn your palms onto your thighs. You can feel the fabric of your pants or whatever you're wearing there underneath your hands. And then you're going to lift your shoulders up to the ears, roll them back and down. Take another inhale to the belly, lift the shoulders up and back. As you exhale, contracting the belly in, let the shoulders come down and forward. Good. Inhaling up and back, exhaling down and forward. Let's do 2 more like that. Up and back, down and forward. Last one in this direction. Just bringing some motion in the shoulders. So this does not have to be very big. We'll go the opposite direction now. You're going to inhale as the shoulders go back and up. Exhale as they roll forward and down. Good. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. Good. One more time. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. I lied. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. Let's do the last one here. Back, up, forward, and down. Good. Give the shoulders maybe a little shake. Just kind of feel out some of that. Now, established motion in the shoulders. Let's lift hands up. So they're extending straight forward. We'll move down the arms. So we've worked from the face into the neck, into the shoulders. We're going to come into the elbows. So turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Bring your fingertips and thumbs together and then fold at the elbows, bringing the fingers towards the shoulders. We're going to open the palms back up as the arms extend straight. Then curl the fingers back in and bring them towards the shoulders. We're doing a little bit of joint freeing here, getting everything moving first thing in the morning. One more time as we spread the fingers back out and forward, spread them wide, then curl just the fingers in towards the palms. And again, spread them out nice and wide, and then curl them in. And one more time, nice and wide, and curl them in. Very good. Fingertips towards the thumbs, turn the palms down, and let's circle at the wrists. Good. And then let's circle the other way. Again, being mindful of movement in the body. Sometimes when the wrists are tight, we actually start to circle up in the elbow. Try to keep your forearms still. Just circle at the wrists. Good. Let's do a little bit more for the upper back now. Fingertips in towards the shoulders, elbows wide. Take the elbows up towards the sky, scoop them forward to touch, and then down and back. Take a big breath in as the elbows come up and forward. Exhale, down and back. One more time, up and forward, down and back. Reversing that now, bring them forward to touch in front if you can, then up and wide and back behind you. Good. Forward to touch, up and wide and back. Good. One more time, forward to touch, up and wide. This time as they go wide, keep the elbows wide, fan the hands out over the elbows. Good. As you inhale, both arms are going to reach up. Now sometimes our shoulders don't allow us to reach up. That's okay. You could reach straight forward instead. As you inhale, extend the arms out, curl the fingers through over the thumbs. As you exhale, pull those elbows into the ribs. Inhale through the nose, reach out. Exhale out the mouth, pull in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. We're going to wake ourselves up here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Find your own tempo and speed here. If mine's going too fast for you, you can slow it down. Good, strong exhale breaths here. That's what's going to help clean out our systems, get that blood flowing. Good. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Inhale, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Big breath in. As you exhale, slowly curl the fingers over the thumbs, gently and slowly Ah, pull those elbows in. Let's do that again. Inhale, nice long stretch through the arms. Curl the fingers over the thumbs. Slowly, slowly pull those elbows in. Inhale again. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Slow exhale. Pull those elbows in. Let's free up the hands now. This time, bring them forward on the legs so you're holding the kneecaps. And I'm actually going to turn my chair here this morning. So I want us to see the motion that's happening in the back. But as you're sitting slightly forward on your chair, your spine is away from the back of the chair. Your arms are extended forward, holding the kneecaps. We're going to round the spine to start, kind of like you're slouching, but you're actively hugging the belly in. Curl the chin towards the chest. Breathe out. Inhale now, belly forward, lift the chest up, look up. Breathing in. Then exhale, curling down, breathing out. So this is our cat-cow or Marjariasana. Inhale, coming up, looking up. Exhale, curling in. Now this motion for the spine, if you have osteoporosis, may not be appropriate for you. And so I would suggest here that you sit a little bit taller, maybe doing small motions, but maybe rolling the shoulders. As we do a few more here, just starting to get some movement in the spine. So we're not trying to really thrash the spine about. We're just gaining some motion through the back. Good. Keep moving like that with your breath. And then coming back to sit up nice and tall. Release the arms to your sides. Take that right palm, fan it out to the right and up. Again, as high as you can. Now, if the shoulder doesn't allow, fingertips can come in towards the shoulder. We're going to exhale and arc over towards the left. If your right arm is extended, really reach through the arm, but see if you can keep your shoulder down. Good. That top hand now is going to come down to the left thigh. Left hand's going to come behind you as you gently twist off towards your left. Big full belly breaths here. So this is our first twist of the day. We don't want to push or pull ourselves very deep. Just starting to feel that sensation of stretch in the twist. We're helping to open up space for our breathing. Good. Let's inhale now. Both arms will come up through center. This time we'll keep the left arm extended. Let the right arm down. Again, your fingertips can come to your shoulder if that feels better for the shoulder, and then curve over towards your right. If you have your left arm extended, actively reach through that arm, even right through to the fingertips. Everything's extending. Good. Then that top hand's going to come down onto the right thigh, right hand coming around behind you, sitting tall, coming into your twist here. Some easy breaths. Good. Inhale, both arms now back up through center. Reach up as high as you can. And now exhale, fold forward. So if there's any concern for blood pressure, let your elbows rest on your thighs. Keep your head above your heart. Otherwise, letting yourself fold all the way down. Hands to the tops of the feet, shins or knees. As you inhale, you're going to roll up. Slide the hands up the body, right up through to the sky. And then exhale, fold again forward. Gently warming up the low back, the hips. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Good. Let's do one more like that. Big sweeping motion up and then letting it all go. Very good. Let's take our time, slowly making your way back up to sitting. And then from here, we're going to take the right leg into the belly, interlace the hands around the right thigh. So you're holding at the back of the right thigh. Let's start here by simply pointing and flexing the right foot a few times. Roll the right ankle. Roll it the other way. Just a little bit of motion there in the foot. Get those toes moving as well. You can pause the foot and just wiggle the toes a few times, see what kind of motion we can get in there. We're going to flex the right foot towards the knee. Give the leg a good squeeze up into the belly. Sit nice and tall, holding at the back of the thigh. Now, if interlacing the fingers is painful for you, you could hold onto one wrist with another hand, or if you have a strap close by, you could use a strap. Then we're going to let the leg drop into the hands as the arms straighten and extend the leg out, big breath in. As you exhale, bend the knee and lift the leg up to the belly. Inhale, let the leg lower and extend. Exhale, bend and lift. Good. Inhale, reaching through the leg. Exhale, bending and hugging it in. Last one. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, hug it in. Good. Now, as you hold the leg in, you're going to open it out towards the right. Let it come down again and into center. Lift it up and out, down and in. So it's kind of like you're moving your leg in a box shape. Just getting some motion in that hip socket. Good. Let's try that box shape in the other direction. Same motion, just reversing it. Good. Now again, your box could be really big today, or it might be a little smaller. That's okay. Just take the motion that's available. Let's come back into center. Give the leg a good squeeze into the belly, then release the foot onto the floor. Let's pause here for a moment. Hands on the thighs. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. And feel the sensations in the legs. So that especially often helps to wake up blood flow to the legs. Reestablish that yogic breath if it has kind of faded out. Let's bring the left leg up now. Hands are underneath the left thigh. So as you interlace your hands, I'm going to ask you here to do the opposite interlace. So typically we have a habit, a way we typically interlace our hands. We're going to now shift it all over by one finger. It's challenging because you have to do it without looking because it's under your leg. Good. It's going to feel a little awkward as well, but that's okay because that helps our awareness and our presence. Things feeling a little off. We pay more attention that way. So again, you're going to lift the leg up into the belly and point and flex the foot. Then roll the ankle. Then roll the ankle the other way. Might be a little bit of crackling going on there as we open up these joints. Good. You can take the foot back forward and then wiggle the toes. Just get as much motion in those toes as you can. Good. Flex the foot now towards the knee. Give the leg a good squeeze into the belly. As you take your next inhale, the leg's going to lower and extend out, holding onto the back of the leg. And then exhale, bend and lift up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend and lift. Good. So we're lowering and extending for the inhale, bending and lifting for the exhale. Good. One more. Good. Keeping that leg hugging in. You're going to open it out towards the left, then let it come down and in. Take it up and out, down and in. Good. Up, out, down and in. One more time, up and out, down and in. Good. Take it the other way now. Reversing that. Nice and slow at your own pace. So you want to make sure you're doing a full motion here. That you're not just bypassing the little sticky parts, but that you're actually trying to move your thigh bone fully around in the socket. Good. Bring the knee back into center. Let's take this left leg now. We're going to lift it up into the belly. Couple options here. If the hip says it's okay, so there's no injury in the hip or you're not post-surgery, you can let the knee open out to the side and maybe take the foot onto the opposite thigh. That's an option. If this is not an option for you, that's okay. Simply place the foot onto the floor. So either option, both feet on the floor or your left foot lifted onto your right thigh. If your foot is lifted, make sure it's flexing back towards the knee. That's going to help guard the knee. Then we're going to sit nice and tall. Wherever you are, we're lifting through the spine, getting as long through the spine as we can. Good. Some of us, we're going to stay just here. That's perfect. Feeling maybe a little stretch in the hips, feeling that stretch in the back as you sit tall. Some of us might start to fold forward a little bit, but only going to a place where you feel a subtle sensation of stretch. Nothing too intense. We don't want to grimace or clench. We want to feel able to breathe easily and be with the sensation. Yeah. Notice your jaw. If you're starting to clench at the jaw, relax the jaw. Good. Then let's inhale back up into center. Take your left hand now, bring it across to your left foot. So this is your lifted foot for those whose left leg is lifted. If both feet are on the floor, your left hand will come to the right thigh. Then we'll take the right hand around behind us, coming back into our twist here. Sitting tall, take some deep, deep breaths, as deep as you can. Really good. Make them happy breaths, light-hearted, happy breaths. Very nice. On your next inhale, slowly unwind. If your leg is lifted, support the knee and the foot as you glide the leg off and place the foot to the floor. Good job. Let's take the right leg back up. And again, the option here is to open the knee out to the side and take the foot across. Some knees and hips let us do this. Sometimes they don't. So that's okay. If this is not appropriate for your body, you simply place the foot to the floor. The action from there is the same. We're going to sit up as tall as we can, lifting from the rib cage. Good. And then you're just going to a place here where you feel sensation. Good. If you're folded forward, slowly come back up. Take your right hand to hold on to the lifted foot, or if the feet are on the floor, you're going to take your right hand to your left thigh. Then your other hand will come around behind you, gently twisting off to this side. Once you come into your twist, though, the work becomes the breath, that yogic breath, that deep and full belly breath. Very active breathing here. Within all of that effort and action, though, can you bring a little lightness? Can you smile? Lighthearted, happy breath. Good. Next inhale, unwind. Coming back into center, you're going to support the leg again, sliding it off, bringing both feet to the floor. Good. Let's take both feet wide now, turning the toes out, leaning forward, hands on the thighs. Good. So depending on how your low back and knees are doing, you might stay here, shoulders on the back, chest forward, pressing down into the hands and into the feet. If the low back and knees are feeling okay today, you can shift your weight forward and just subtly lift the hips off of the chair. So that's an option. You can keep your hips on the chair. That's absolutely okay. Otherwise, you're working to lift the hips just slightly off the chair, and then you're going to shift your hips from side to side. Very little motion here, but there is movement. So we're not holding static today. Just a little bit of movement there. Very nice. Bring the hips back into center. Start to walk your hands back up the legs as you slowly come to stand. Legs are wide. Now you're welcome to stay seated. Keep the legs wide as well, but we'll turn the toes now to face more forward. Then we'll slide the hips from side to side. Now they're free off the chair. Good. If you're in the chair, you can slide the upper body from side to side. You might circle the hips. Circle the other way. You might figure eight the hips a little bit, just exploring some free motion now in the hips. Maybe do that figure eight motion in the opposite direction. Good. Bringing the hips back into center. Now walk your feet in so they're more directly below your hips. Coming into our Tadasana, palms forward, shoulders back. A little softness in the knees, so you're not locking your legs straight. There's a little softness. You'll know because you'll feel weight from the upper body drop into the feet. Good. Deep, full yogic breaths. Letting those shoulders now slide down the back, taking your hands around towards the back of the hips. Planting the hands there on the back of the hips, lift the shoulders up and onto the back. Now, if you're sitting in the chair, it might feel better to hold on to the back of the chair. If your shoulders are tight or there's injury in the shoulders, you might take your hands on your hips instead, so they're a little bit more forward. From there, though, the shoulders lift up to the ears, and we try to glide those shoulder blades a little closer together. Now, watch the head. The head here likes to jut forward. Tuck the chin in just a little bit. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Beautiful. Pressing into your feet strongly. Feel where your hands are on the back of the hips. If they're there, you're going to feel the back of your hips start to slide down the back of the legs. As you do that, the lower belly is going to lift up and in. Beautiful. This is our stability. This is where we're going to support ourselves as we start to open the heart up towards the sky. Now, if you have any injury in the spine, any osteoporosis, this is your posture. This is your back bend, pressing into the feet, lifting and opening the heart upwards. If there's no concerns along the spine, you might start to curve that heart back, gliding it open towards the sky, looking up. Do not let your head drop back very hard on the neck. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Focus the work on opening the chest. Keep those hips coming down the back, belly in and up. Good, breathing here. Nicely done. We'll take one more breath just like this. Then inhale, come up into center. Exhale, release your arms down. Good work. If closing your eyes is okay for you today, you're welcome to do that. If closing the eyes causes a little bit of dizziness, keep the eyes open. So let's take our chair now. We're going to bring the chair to we'll start with the left side of the body. So you're going to turn the chair so the seat is facing away from you, the back of the chair is towards you, and you're standing beside the chair facing perpendicular. So you're looking, you have your left side of your body towards the chair. So you're not looking towards the chair, you're looking in the sideways direction of the chair. Hope that makes sense. Good. Once you're there though, put your left hand on the chair, but then walk back a little bit. So you want to be able to keep one hand on the chair, but you're slightly behind the side of the chair. Good. Standing tall. Nice. We're going to take the left foot now and step it part way forward. So maybe a half a foot or a whole foot forward. Step it part way forward. Your left hand will come forward on the chair, and you're going to shift weight into that left foot. Now you have a couple options. So if you have any concerns for your knee or low back, you can keep both feet on the floor. You might lift the right heel up. Otherwise, engaging the belly, shift the weight into that left foot and lean out over the left leg, lifting the right leg up. Beautiful. Coming into your balance there. For those who are in the chair, you're going to take your right leg into your belly, extend the right leg out, keep it lifted, and then reach the arms up towards the sky. Good. Breathing here. So this is our warrior 3 pose. So lots of effort, lots of determination where you are. If your hand is on the chair, you might work to lift a finger or two from the chair. Flex your right foot towards the knee. Good. Press out through your right heel. We've got one more breath here. Holding onto the chair now, you're going to slowly come back up. Step that right foot down behind you. Then step the left foot back. Returning to your Tadasana. So releasing your pose, returning to your Tadasana. Taking some deep yogic breaths here. Good. So you can either move your chair, so now it's on the right-hand side of your body, or just simply turn yourself around. And it depends on where your space is, how it's situated. You want the right-hand side of your body now towards the chair. And again, you're going to step back from the chair, making sure that your right hand can still rest on the chair. From your Tadasana, you're going to take your right foot forward, just about a half a foot or a whole foot in front of you. So you're able to shift weight into that right foot. And again, anywhere along here is great. So you're working at strengthening the legs. You want to be mindful of the joints. You might lift the left heel off the floor, or you might lift the whole left leg up. Extending the left arm out. Breathing here. That's the big one. Make sure you're breathing. Those who are in the chair, your left leg comes in. Extend that left leg out. Lift the arms up. Beautiful work. Good. If you have your hand on the chair and you're standing, maybe you lift a finger or two from the chair. That left foot is flexing towards the knee. One more breath like this. Then on your inhale, as you rise up, that left foot's coming down behind you. Good. Then the right foot will step back. Coming into your Tadasana, palms open, shoulders back. Deep breaths in and out. Good. All right, let's take the chair now. Turn the chair around. Now there's a couple options. So for those of you who are comfortable coming to the floor, you can use your chair to help yourself down onto the ground. And then those of you who prefer to stay in your chair, stay there, and I'll give you some options from the chair. For those who are coming to the floor today, you're going to come down onto the ground and sit down onto the ground. So lots of times in our practices, we come down and bring our legs right away onto the chair. So not today. Today we're going to do a little bit more yoga from the ground or from a seated position. So take your time, either coming to sit in your chair or coming to sit on the floor. Once you're on the floor, extend your legs straight out in front of you. If you're seated in the chair, keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor. For those in the chair, you're going to hold the sides of the chair and start to pull up on the sides of the chair. For those on the floor, you're going to plant your hands down onto the ground and push down into the ground with your hands, helping yourself sit a little bit taller. This is our seated staff pose or Dandasana. A nice long spine here. Feel the openings down the arms, down the back. Beautiful. So from here, those who are on the floor, you're going to keep your left leg as it is. Open your right leg out to the right. So those in the chair, you're going to keep your left foot on the floor, straighten your right leg out, and send your right leg as far out to the right as is comfortable. Good. Then from here, we'll take our right hand onto the right thigh and slowly slide it down the right leg, starting to turn your chest towards the left. So I like to take my left hand and rest it on my left shoulder to keep encouraging that left shoulder back. So this is a Janu Shirshasana variation. So what I want to really consider here is what's happening in the low back. So if you find yourself kind of slumping, sometimes sitting up on a little block or a book is really helpful here. But I also encourage you not to go too far. So if you're guiding your right hand down your right leg and you start to feel yourself slump a little bit, come back up, get longer through the spine, and rotate to the left, pausing there. Good. Staying where you are, breathing. Maybe the left arm now can extend open from the shoulder and out towards the left. Turning the left palm over your head, reach your left arm now over your head towards your right toes, as though one day you could actually reach out and touch those right toes. Okay, maybe not today, that's okay. But imagining that length in the body, imagining that potential. Very good. Inhale, come back up, and then slowly release. Bring that right leg forward now. So if you're on the floor, you're back in Dandasana, both feet straight out. And then you're going to take your left leg out to the left. Left hand on the left thigh, start to slide your left arm down the left leg. Right hand on the right shoulder, open that right shoulder up. Good. So rolling that right shoulder back. Nice. Breathing there. From here, you might take your your right arm and extend it up, turning the palm overhead and then reaching overhead towards those left toes. One day, maybe connecting with those left toes. Be mindful of that low back though, not going so far that you feel that collapsing. And stay as long and open through the back as you can. Deep breaths here. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, let that arm down. Bringing both legs forward again. If you're in the chair, both feet on the floor. Coming back to our Dandasana. So if you're seated in the chair, holding the sides of the chair, pulling up. If you're on the floor, pressing down, breathing here. Good. One last posture from seated. If you're in the chair, keep both feet on the floor, but take your feet wide. If you're sitting on the floor, you're going to bend your knees and place the feet together. So the knees are wide, but the feet come in. On the chair, though, your feet are going to stay wide. Good. If you're sitting on the floor, you're going to come down and hold around the ankles or the base of the shins. Now, if that's not available for you, sometimes placing a strap under the feet is a good option, or just hold a little bit higher up. Okay, and wherever you are here, the work is to get long again, spacious through the spine. I find a little bit of a wiggle is really helpful. Just kind of encourages the hips to let there be a bit more space. Then from here, you might fold forward, letting your elbows rest on your thighs. Notice again as you fold that if you want to round your back, you're going a little too far. Keep that spine nice and straight. That's where all our energy comes from. So keep that energy moving. To keep it moving, we need to give it space. So keep that spine long. Good. Next breath in, rise back up. Taking your left hand onto your left knee, your right hand behind you. Now, some of you might take the left hand across to the right knee if that's available. So whether you're in the chair or you're on the ground, your left hand can be on your left knee or your right knee, whatever's available, and you're taking your right hand behind you, coming into a twist again here. Last twist of practice. Good. Meet that resistance in the twist, not with pressure or intensity, but with breath. Good. Inhale, unwind. Keep the legs as they are. Right hand on the right knee, left hand behind you, with the option of taking the right hand across to the left knee. That's just an option. Coming into our final twist here, big deep breaths. Inhale to unwind. Slowly bring those knees back together. So if you're in the chair, you're going to walk your feet in. Take the feet, if you're on the floor, take the feet just a little bit wider so they're not side by side. We're going to just let the knees rock a few times from side to side. Those of you in the chair can now go ahead and slide all the way to the back of the chair. Make sure your feet, though, have some support, maybe some blocks underneath them. Those who are on the floor, you can now position yourself so that you can lay down on the ground, making sure there's no furniture or anything in your way. Keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor as you come to lay down. Letting the spine settle onto the ground, or if you're sitting in the chair, feel the back of the chair against your back. Those lying on the floor might like to take this opportunity to extend both legs out, letting your arms rest at your sides. Softly and slowly coming to close your eyes. Releasing now the effort of breath. Feeling your breath settle into something that feels very natural, effortless. And watch your breath now as it starts to play in all of the space that you've created in the body. Watch where the breath likes to go now. We'll spend a few moments in this quiet space of observing. And it'll bring us back so that we can close our practice together. Give yourself this time to stay present with the breath, to remain still in the body, quiet in the mind. As you start to hear my voice again, begin to find tiny little movements in your fingers and your toes. Just notice when the mind is clear and able to focus totally on one experience. At this time, the experience of moving fingers or moving toes. Notice the depth of that experience, the details that come through, the sensations that are conscious. Maintain that present awareness in the body as you start to move a little bit more and a little bit more. Maybe pointing and flexing your feet a few times, or rolling your wrists a few times. Maybe starting to, again, tick-tock the head from side to side. It might feel nice here to take the arms and extend them overhead or straight forward, turning the palms out and away as you interlace your fingers and stretch long through the arms. For those of you lying on the floor, you can release your hands, bend your knees, and roll onto one side. For those sitting in the chair, release your hands and bring them down onto your thighs, moving yourself slightly forward on your chair. For those on the floor, take your time. You're going to press yourself up and come to sit up on the ground, or if you prefer, you can return to your chair. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Coming into an Anjali Mudra, or sometimes it's called a Namaskar Mudra, palms touching. Once again, we'll close the eyes just for a moment to acknowledge this effort and time that you've carved out for your practice. To acknowledge any change or shifts you may be experiencing in the body and the mind because of that effort and time. And take this moment to feel a sense of gratitude towards yourself for continuing to choose to practice yoga. I thank you, each and every one of you, for continuing to come and to practice together. Namaste.